All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing fantastic. Check it out. I want to have a discussion here about good semi-automatic rifles and why this should be pretty much your top priority for self-defense. Now, we have 1022s, we have shotguns and things like that. And I also feel that a lot of these guns are what I call pretty much a specific guns for specific capabilities, right? Like 1022 has a specific purpose. Is great for that. Shotguns has a specific purpose. It's great for that. And again, you have a good semi-automatic rifle that pretty much have the right purpose for self-defense. And again, it serve that capability of that purpose. A lot of times we get into arguments here and debates, and the reality is that we shouldn't. We should not get into those arguments, and we should understand what that gun was created for and in what purpose was created for. And I think that's super critical. You could see the military and you can see what they do and why they do that, right? They use a Mark 19 for a specific purpose. They use mortars for a specific purpose and things like that. But for some reason here in the community, when we like one tool, we think it's the best tool forever, for every single situation. And if you disagree, people argue and they fight each other and they attack each other. To me, it's pretty silly. Before I get into that, check it out. Let's give a quick shout out to Core Essentials. So this video is brought to you by Core Essentials, and I'm going to tell you, Core Essentials is a fantastic company putting out fantastic belts, great customer service. They have leather belts, they have tactical belts, and now they have this really cool Western belts, kind of like an old school, kind of like cowboy kind of looking belts. I got two here in the channels, and they look just fantastic. Really excited to test them out. So you're going to be able to carry a setup up to 6 pounds. It's your basic 1.5 wide. Again, you're going to have like 40 plus different sizes, and you're going to be able to make those small adjustments that Core Essential is known for. You're not going to have any holes or anything like that in your belts. You're going to have that hidden track that Core Essential is pretty famous for having. And I'm going to tell you, they have some cool belt buckles. You could pick your belt, you could pick your buckle, and you can make it your own. You can make it look really cool depending on what you want, how you want it, and all that. Obviously, it's going to have 30-day money-back guarantee, 1-year warranty. Check it out. It's going to be a link down below and also a discount code. Yeah, check it out. Core Essential is awesome. How many times did I say fantastic? Let me know down in the comment section below. So here's the thing. I love my 1022, and I got a Ruger 1022. Is essentially it's a 50-year anniversary, and I think it's fantastic. Really think it's fantastic. In this video right here, I'm gonna play a couple videos just so you don't see me just talking. But in this video right here, this is actually Tactical Man's 1022. If you haven't subscribed to Tactical Man, go and subscribe and let me know what you think about his channel, because it's amazing. So we were having a great time here shooting some 1022s and things like that. And here's the thing, 1022 to me is such a great gun for a specific purpose, right? Some of that purpose may be, you know, learning the fundamentals, right? You learn how to shoot. Some of the 1022s are like kind of like the AR style videos or AR style platforms, so you could use them, you could put a lot of rounds down range, and you could just have a great time, you know, shooting rounds down range and learning those fundamentals, right? A lot of people said things like, well, maybe I want to teach my kids, you know, maybe that's a good idea, teaching your children with a little 1022. You know, in this video right here, you see me having I think it's called the BX2, maybe I forgot the name of the magazine, the Ruger B25 maybe. Again, I forgot. And again, you have like 50 rounds right there, which is a lot of rounds, right? It's just a ton of rounds. So again, can a 1022 be used for self-defense? Obviously, look at that distance right there. I'm shooting maybe, I don't know, maybe like 25 yards, 40 yards, I don't know. And I'm hitting the steel and I'm having a great time, and I'm putting a lot of rounds down range hitting the steel. So obviously, it's a weapon that could be used for self-defense. I mean, there is no doubt about that. No recoil, easy to shoot, easy to handle. I mean, anybody could put rounds down range with a 1022. But nevertheless, it's not the most appropriate, in my opinion, the most appropriate gun for what you're trying to accomplish. It's really not. It's really not the most appropriate gun. You know, there's some things that you're not going to get with essentially an AR-15, right? You have a little 22. If you're seeing a 22 round, it's like this big. Compare that to an AR-15 round, right? It's going to be a round that is going to allow you to, even shoot longer range. It's going to have probably more velocity. It's going to do so much damage, right? There is a reason. Here's the thing, because I'm not one of those round guys that know everything about the rounds. I mean, now that it's nothing wrong, knowing that stuff is great information, but you could literally look at this situation or look at this platform and compare that to the military. Why is the military not carrying a 1022 with 5,000 rounds? Because it's not as reliable, it's not as dependable, it doesn't cause the same amount of damage, right? It's not going to do the things that other rifles do. Let me show you here. I want to show you my 1022 because I really like mine right here. Look at this. Jarhead 6 was skinny back then. I'm losing a lot of weight, by the way. If you notice, let me know down in the comment section below. But there we go. But yeah, I've been losing weight. I'm enjoying this new diet that I'm doing. So again, I got a 1022 50-year anniversary. I love it. And again, it's a great little rifle. And again, I just like it. This is a takedown model, which is a model that a lot of guys say, well, that's the best rifle for survival. It's really good rifle for rifle. You could break it in half, put it in a backpack and things like that. And you know what? I tend to agree. It has great capability. You could take small game down and things like that. But again, it's not the best gun. It's the reason, like I said, why the military is not using a 1022, because it does not do what an AR-15 does. So here's the thing. Think about this when it comes about survival. You really need to think about this because a lot of people miss that point. The point here is to have the best weapon for the fight. It's not to have a weapon that could do some damage. It's not to have a weapon that may work. It's not to have a weapon that this may work. No, it's to have the best weapon for the fight. Because when you have the best weapon for the fight, what do you have? You have essentially the best chance to survive, right? You're facing an opponent. You want to face an opponent with the best tool for the job. There's many hammers in a toolbox. Which hammer are you going to grab? The best one for the job, right? So definitely not the best one for the job because, again, it just doesn't perform as well as an AR-15. Let me show you this right here. You ready? You ready with Jarhead 6 with a tactical beer, with a tactical, as an operator. Once you have that beer, you have credibility, right? Look at this. This is a Mossberg 590, right? And I'm going to tell you, 500, excuse me. And wow, look at that beer. I'm jealous. I'm really jealous. And again, good guns. What is shotguns are good for? Shotguns are good, excellent guns for self-defense. Excellent, for home defense, magnificent. To close combat, excellent. But again, they lock on a lot of things, specifically in capacity. They're locking capacity. So you have 6 rounds, 7 rounds, however many rounds that shotgun has. And you're going to be facing a guy that has 30 rounds in a magazine. Not a good idea. Really not a good idea. You're going to run out of rounds. And again, some people are going to say things such as, well, what about, and actually I'm talking about that in this video right here, by the way. They're going to say, well, what about as a secondary or something like that, or to, home defense and things like that. Yeah, it is great. It works amazing, really amazing for those things. But the reality is that it is made for that specific capability. Doesn't mean that should be your primary home defense. Your primary firearm for survival and to defend your family. No, it means that it's great for home defense, but it doesn't mean that it takes the place of an AR-15. It does not take the place. It's a different category. Right? Great for inside a house, great for close combat. But you know what? If you come out of your house for whatever reason and you have a distance, then you don't have those capabilities. So again, you find yourself in a situation where if you're going to have multiple firearms, a lot of times you guys say, well, just buy a bunch of guns. Got it. It's fine. But if you're going to have one gun, it is not the best gun for the job. It lacks a lot of things. It's difficult to put a light. It's difficult to put other things, other accessories that is not as simple in an AR-15, right? Let me show you this video right here because this is the best gun for the job, right? And the reason why I do this is because I like to put this video just to kind of give you some things to think about it, right? AR-15, you have 30 rounds. What do you have here? You have 30 round capacity, right? Obviously, in some states, you can't have that. You have 30 round capacity. You have the ability to mount a scope. Again, on a shotgun 1022, you could do that as well. Obviously, in a shotgun, you're not going to have 30 rounds. In a 1022, you're going to have 30 rounds. But again, you don't have the ability to have a 5.56. You got a 22. That's a big deal, right? So you have the ability to mount a scope. You have the capability of having 30 rounds. You have the ability to have a rail where you could put, lights and things like that, right? So again, some of these things right here, here's the thing. Some of these things right here could be, you could do the same thing with a shotgun. You could do the same thing with a 1022, but it's not as good. That's the point here. It's not as good. You're giving up a lot of stuff. Look at that motivator. Again, you're giving up a lot of stuff. You're giving up the fact that a good semi-automatic is something that has a great, a great resources, such as having, an optic. I blacked out there for a second. Having an optic, having 30 rounds, having the ability to touch at a longer distance, having the ability to shoot a respectable caliber, having the ability to mount all this accessory. Those are things that you're not going to have in a shotgun. Those are things that you're not going to have in a 1022. In 1022, you're going to lock caliber. Shotgun, you're going to lock capacity. Again, you're going to lock all those things that you don't lock on a platform such as respectable semi-automatic rifle. And it could be an AK-47. Could be an AK, could be an AR-15. It could be something that is a semi-automatic rifle that has a respectable caliber, right? So here's the point. Why am I doing this video? Well, it's simple. I'm doing this video because as I'm part of this community and I see some of you guys, buying guns and setting up what you call your system, right? I want you to think about these things, right? A lot of times people buy a gun and think it's the best gun for the job, and it may not be the best gun for the job. That's something that you need to realize. That gun that you have may not be the best gun for the job. You need to look at a gun and be like, all right, this may be great for this, but may not be as good as for this, right? So again, I have a shotgun. I've been wanting to buy a 590 for a while. Tactical Man just got a 590. He's pretty excited about it. So as I look at a shotgun, man, I love shotgun. I love him, but I know what a shotgun is for, right? I love my 1022. I love it, but I know what my 1022 is for. I know the capabilities, and I know the vulnerabilities or the things that don't do as good. Right? I know what my AR-15 does, good, and what it does not do good, essentially, right? If you get an AR-15 and you compare it with an AK-47, there are some pros and there are some cons, right? That's something that you got to keep in mind. I want you to come out of the mentality of, I bought a shotgun, I'm good. I could do anything with a shotgun. I'm Superman. I got a 1022, so because I got a 1022, I'm good. I could do anything with a 1022. Now, there is great guns out there for a specific capabilities or event or situations, if you want to put it that way. Same thing with a revolver, right? When we look at revolvers, they're great. I'm comfortable carrying one for concealed carry, but is it the best way or the best choice for home defense? Maybe not. Maybe there's other guns for home defense. Now, can it be used for home defense? Of course. Anything could be used for a home defense. You could use a tomahawk for home defense. But again, we're looking for the best gun or the best weapon for the right situation, right? So anyways, I just wanted to come up here. Big shout out to Core Essential for sponsoring the channel. And I just wanted to come up here and talk for a little bit. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. And as always, God is in control.